Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome all. Hi. This is a shifting video. This video is about my recent shift back to Toshinori's house after my drug disaster last time. I was really nervous about going back to go see him after what happened. I'm not going to repeat it. I didn't want to go back there, and I didn't want to receive punishment, and I wasn't in a hurry to find out what the punishment was. I said that in my last video. He also seems to know some pretty personal, a lot of personal and private information about me that I didn't know that he knew about. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been really afraid to shift back there. But it's been like 3 days. It was like 3 days, and so I figured I would shift there again. So I actually went there last night. And so I'm just gonna tell you guys what happened. I told you I was gonna stop spoiling. I was gonna stop spoiling it for you guys. So I shifted to his house, and so I shifted purposely further away from his house so that I was in the front. So his gates were here, and there are these little white gates, but like all of his flowers are kind of tall, and he has like this pathway that leads to his house. So there's like there's little stones. I'm guessing it's like a stone. You would call it like a stone path, kind of, but it's like in the ground. So there's like what do you call it? The grasses and stuff is kind of grown out over it a little bit, so it's like embedded in the ground. And I already told you guys this house is white, and it looks small on the outside, but it's huge on the inside, and it's got a brown door and a gold knob. Anyway, the door was wide open, so I'm walking up to the house. The door is wide open. I could see the screen from here, so I figured I would just like knock on the screen and step back a little bit, and then maybe we could talk outside so I don't have to go inside of his house. And so like I stood back and I knocked on the screen. I didn't get an answer from him, so I went inside of the house, and I stepped in and I go, "Toshinori, it's me." And there's no answer. So I start wandering around, just like trying to see maybe if he's like sleeping or something. I thought maybe he lay down and wanted to take a nap or something, so maybe that's why he's not like around. So I went in his room and he wasn't in there. And I look back at the door and I'm thinking, it's kind of dangerous that the door is like open like this. It is All Might. He could take down any villain. But at the same time, like, even for my friends, I would do this. I would just close their door. I won't lock it. I'll just close it. That way you can still get in your house at least. I figured maybe I could just shift back there later. But I didn't want to just leave without letting him know I've been there. So I figured I can write a letter. So I remembered next to his he has so he has a phone. Okay. The phone is right next to the hallway he used to go into his room. And but underneath the phone there's like this there's this black table desk. It has a drawer inside of it. And I knew that it had a pen pad and it had paper. So I figured I can use that to write like a letter to him, at least like trying to like explain myself and maybe try to compromise or something with him. I don't know. I knew like if I shifted back later or whatever, or shifted back there again, I don't know if he would have read it or not. So I decided to go in his room and write the letter. So I closed the front door, and I don't lock it, I just close it. And I noticed the kitchen. I didn't even notice this at first. The table we were using to like sit at to have our coffee, that table was completely gone. That whole space was like empty. It was just the curtains there. Everything else was still in place, but that part was missing. And then on the left of me, that's like the sofa and the TV and everything. The leather sofa's facing the door. The TV and stuff's on the wall there. and then I described to you what was on the other side. There was like the plant fixtures, the really cool ones with like the soil and the. Anyway, I walk over to his room, and I like go inside, and I'm thinking like I need something to get up on the bed. So I start looking for the stool that I use to climb the bed, and I can't find it because I used to climb on it in the past to like sleep next to him secretly and stuff. That's why I'm in this whole mess in the first place. And that's how I got myself in trouble in the first place. And so like I throw the pen pad and paper on the bed, and I step back a few feet, and I run and I jump because this bed is so high I can't reach it. And I'm up there. I'm starting to write the letter, but then I feel cold. So then I slide off the bed and I go into his wardrobe and I pull out one of his shirts, and I just put it over me like a little jacket. I figure it's kind of cold in here because like, okay, so Toshinori, the rest of his house is kind of warm. It's almost like too hot in his house, but his room is like really cold. He has his air conditioning on in there. It's just always freezing. But it's warm when I'm in there with him because you know why. Anyway, so I'm writing my letter, and so the letter says like, "Dear Toshinori, my love, I love you with all my heart. You will always be mine forever. Please forgive me for what I did last time. You have to know that it was an accident and that I didn't do it on purpose. Sometimes in life, accidents happen. And the only thing that you can do is just like move forward from the accident, move forward from what happened. And I'm hoping he'll believe my words. Like, I'm hoping he'll believe what I said because I need him to believe me." And then I put "I love you so much" at the end. Heart, 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 kiss. Heart, kiss. And like a smiley face with another kiss on it. And then I close up I like fold the letter, and I leave it sticking out from under his pillow so that he can see it when he walks in, and he'll get all happy when he reads my letter. So I'm super, super excited about the letter because I think that's my way out. I think that's going to help me. And, so I'm reading the letter over, and I'm getting kind of colder. I'm getting colder and colder. And then, I start like getting really comfortable and warm, and then I start getting tired. And I kept thinking like, should I add something else? Like, I don't know how long I've been here at this point because I've just been writing. And like after every sentence it says like, "I love you." So like, "Toshinori, my love, I love you. Please forgive me, I love you." Like everything said literally in between everything I write, I'm writing "I love you." I'm hoping that helps too. And I end up passing out. I end up falling asleep because I'm already so tired. I haven't been able to sleep in a while. I've been like dreaming about him every night, been thinking about him like crazy. He passed the kiss from my guide to me. I'm gonna move my guide over, making sure you guys don't actually see him. I don't want anyone to see him. I'm not ready to reveal him. Someone asked me to, who were you? One of you guys asked me what if he had a name. Yes, your guy will have a name too. That's actually the first thing you should ask. After you ask, "Are you here?" and they say yes, you should ask, "What is their name?" They're not going to be able to tell you their name right away. But when you see them again, they'll be able to, if you see them, when they show up to you, they will tell you their name. So, I'll jump back into it. I basically fell asleep. So like, I woke up to Toshinori's kiss, and he goes, "Cotton candy doll, you came." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I couldn't stay away." And he's like, "That makes me so happy." And he like hugs me, and he helps me get off the bed. He kind of like, so I told you guys the bed is kind of high. He kind of picks me up a little bit, and it's kind of fun, like, and he puts me down, and then we walk together in the kitchen. And I'm like, wow. Because the first thing I noticed is like he has a new table set and chairs right there. And I go, wow, that looks really pretty. It really brings out the room because the other table was much lighter. This one's a lot darker and much more fancier. And it has like, so the tablecloth is basically, it's all white. It's in the shape of a flower, but it has like holes in it. So it's, how do I explain to you? It's like if someone's, it's kind of like, you know, snowflakes when you cut them out and it has like the little holes. It's kind of, it kind of looks like that. It looks really cool. And that was on the table. And he goes, do you want to have some coffee? I know it's late. And I was like, yeah, I would like some coffee. And he's like, okay, I go, wait, I'm going to make the coffee. I don't trust you to make the coffee right now, so I'm going to do it. So I go over to the machine, guys, and I'm looking at it, and it looks really complicated because it's one of those like espresso maker coffees. Like I never looked at his coffee machine before, but it looks like it looks like really complicated. And I can't figure out how to do it. And he's standing there, and he's looking at me from the corner of his eye like this, like he hasn't taken his eyes off me since like we came into the kitchen. So I look over and I'm like, can you help me instead of just standing there? So he comes over and he comes up behind me and he starts moving my hands. He starts moving my hands like to like make the coffee, and that's not what I meant when I said it, but I thought it was really cute. I was enjoying like his touch, his sensual touch. I was getting like turned on by him. I was just enjoying him, just being close to him and just being near him. Oh, it's such a feeling. Toshinori. Anyway, we stop tripping off into drinking wine, guys. We continue. So I'm making the coffee and stuff, and I finally got the coffee to start brewing with his help. And he goes, "Why don't you try it?" He's like, "Why don't you sit down?" And I sit down, and he comes over and he sits across from me, and he tells me, he's like, "Cotton candy doll." He goes, "Why did you wait so long to come here?" He's like, "I've been waiting for you all this time, and you waited for such a long time." And I go, it really hasn't been that long. It's only been like 3 days. And he goes, "That's a long time." He goes, were you really that afraid of me that you were willing to stay away from me for so long?" And I'm like, I didn't know, I was afraid. I was just afraid to come back. I didn't know how to face you after that. And he put his hands on mine and he's like, "Cotton candy doll, there's nothing you could ever do to make me stop loving you. I will always love you. You are a piece of me." And like that just like made me smile. The smile would not leave my face. And then the coffee machine beeps, and he goes, "There goes the coffee." And he gets up, and I'm like, "No, I got it." And I run like in front of him, like I cut him off on his way to the kitchen. And he goes, "You still don't trust me?" And I said, "No, but it's okay. Trust comes with time or whatever, you know." And I'm saying it in a sarcastic way. He knows it. So now he's standing there. He goes into like the doorway part, and he's staring at me. He's just looking me like up and down. And his eyes look kind of like lustful. But I'm ignoring it. I'm just pouring our coffee like, and I come over and bring it to the table. He hasn't moved. He's still standing there, guys. By the way, I'm so tired. I'm so sorry, guys. So I get my coffee mug and I sit down and I go and I get my little mouse containers. They're freaking adorable. I go get them and I put creamer in my coffee, and I'm like, "Are you gonna are you gonna come sit down?" He doesn't say anything. He's just staring. And I go, "Okay, whatever." That's what I'm thinking, like, okay, whatever. He's gonna stand there like and be like, weird, whatever. So like I'm stirring my creamer, and then I go for the sugar, and he goes, "I know you're not about to put sugar in there." And I look over at him, I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, who the, who do you think you are? Like, you're not gonna talk to me this way. What's up with your attitude? So I'm just like, and this makes me suspicious. When he does stuff like this, I get really suspicious, guys. Because I remember what happened last time. It was like, oh, you were, and then it was just like, like that. It's like, okay. So it's just like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put sugar in it. I don't like bitter things. I don't like things without, especially coffee. I barely like coffee without sugar. I was like, the only reason I even drink it is because I need it to wake me up in the morning because I'm so tired. And he goes, I don't think you should have any. I think you've had enough sugar. And I go, what makes you think I've already had sugar? Again, personal, private stuff. That's none of his business. It's my business. It's not yours. And I go, there you go again. Thinking that you can like tell me what to do. Like just don't. I was like, just stop it. That's something that me and if you've ever watched Diabolic Lovers, that's something that me and Capito have in common. We do not like bitter stuff. Okay. We like sweet, fluffy stuff. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Stuff that tastes good, like a strawberry shortcake type stuff. That kind of thing. Not anything bitter and no. So he goes, I know you've already had enough sweets today, so I'm telling you no with the sugar, and you better listen. And I'm like, I said, you want to go? Because we can go. Like, and he goes, what? And I go, you want to go? And now I'm kind of like jokingly like, I'm kind of jokingly like saying that, and he's like laughing a little bit, like his laugh is like, haha. He's like, okay, you think you can beat me? Haha, like, yeah. And I'm like, ah, ha, ha, yeah, I know I can't beat you, so what? Whatever. And I go, you know what? I'll put as much sugar in here as I want. And I put in like maybe 10 spoonfuls, and he's just like, I'm like, and I stir it, and he's like, don't drink that. And I was like, don't tell me what to do. And I drink all of it, guys. And then he goes, I tried to warn you. And I go, what? What are you trying to warn me? And he goes, I told you not to drink that. And I'm like, I was like, you can't tell me what to do. I do what I want. He said, that's exactly why. And when he said that, I'm like I can't move. I'm like stuck. And so like I'm starting to freak out again. The chair I'm sitting in has these straps come out of them, and they just wrap around my body. So they're like holding me in place. And he goes, cotton candy doll. And he's walking up closer, and he's like, I knew you wouldn't listen to me. He goes, I didn't do this, you did this. And he's like, of course I have to take precautions this time. I didn't realize how dangerous you actually were. You can be very dangerous, can't you? He goes, of course I have to do everything I can to protect you from hurting yourself. And this was the best way I could think of. And I'm like, what did you do? He said I poisoned the sugar. It wasn't poison though. It's basically like drugs, the same drugs he used on me last time. He said I used it in the sugar. That was how I got you last time. He said I just forgot to empty it. And I'm like, you forgot to. I was like, how could you forget that? You knew I was gonna do that again. You knew I was gonna. I was like, you knew I was gonna use that. And he goes, but you know what? This is an opportunity. He said, I can't let this opportunity go to waste. You understand, don't you, Cotton Candy Doll? And I said, no, I don't understand. And then he like takes the straps out of his chair. Guys, I can't fight him. I can't do anything because I'm immobilized at this point. I can't see. I can hear him talking to me, but I can't see. Um, and then he like carries me into the room. I could feel him carrying me in there. And he goes, "You know what?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I knew you wouldn't listen." And he's like, I can feel him laughing. So like, it's like, you freaking planned this. Like, how did you know this would work? What if I said okay and I didn't drink it? You know, I should have known. Like, I couldn't come there and just get away with what I did. He told me that I would be sorry. It just, I wanted to try to see if I can like compromise or something. So then he lays me down on the bed and he's like, "You know what? I just realized something." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Where's your pleasure button?" Guys, of course, he doesn't know where it is, guys. Alright, I'm gonna tell you guys in. Alright, I'm gonna tell you guys in German, okay? I'm gonna move closer so I can like whisper to you like this, okay? Ihr hat meinen Gepont nicht gefunden, okay? Um, so he doesn't know, and so like I hear him run into bathwater. I'm like, so that's his next goal, because you know, guys say it's like playing the flute. You're probably so confused. Just translate that later, whatever. Um, so he puts me in the tub, and I feel like the water and stuff running, and I wore like this flimsy dress because my clothes always go missing. In fact, I might as well just go to his house like naked because I mean I already know what to expect when I'm getting there when I get there. So then he's like, "I have a special place. I have a special place for you this time." And I'm like, "Oh no, what is this place?" And I didn't know that he had I didn't know that he had this place, guys. I'm not gonna tell you guys about it yet until after I tell you what happens. Oh my gosh, guys. Remember when he gave me a choice and he said, pick one or two? But he goes, "You're getting a spanking. I have to spank you because he goes, Cotton Candy Dye, you're just so unbelievably, you're just so unbelievably naughty. Like, I have to do something about this. I have to get you under control because you are out of control." And he's saying this and he's like, "You're so perfect, though. I just love you." And I'm like, "What?" You just said I was out of control. You just said you had to punish me, and then now you're saying I'm perfect. You. Anyway, guys, so text me in the room. Oh, he doesn't even bother. He doesn't even bother like dressing me, guys. I'm just like naked. He has me like over his knees, and like he brings down like the hand of God on me. I'm not kidding. And I'm like screaming. And he goes, "If you keep screaming like that," he goes, "you know the grappler's prayer, don't you? You don't want that to happen." And I go, "Yikes." Because you know what? Do you guys know what the grappler's prayer is? It's freaking scary. Like, I never. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys what the grappler's prayer is. I'm gonna recite the grappler's prayer. "Now I lay you down to sleep, because my choke is sunk so deep. Feel the rush as your world goes black, all because you gave me your back." Do you know what that means? Okay, that's what he's referring to with me. So afterwards, oh my god, guys, I'm like crying, with like tears like running out of my face. My makeup and everything's messed up. And then he's like, "Okay." He puts me on this gown, and I don't know where he got the gown from. It like fit me. It was like my perfect size. He put it on, and so like I was like mad. I was just like, my whole, after that, my whole attitude was like, don't touch me. He like reached for my face and I would like jerk away, and like, he even like, he put his hand by my face and I almost bit him. Like, I almost bit his hand. And he's like, but do you need a muzzle too? He's like, I got it. Or he goes, I got it. And he goes in the other room and he gets this ball. It's basically like a gag, and he puts it in my mouth. And he goes, this is gonna stay in your mouth for a second, okay? He leaves it in my mouth, and he's just like, so now he's walking around the house. I'm laying there with this gag in my mouth, and I still can't move because I had way too much of the, guys, I've had way too much of the drugs. I'm just gonna tell you guys that, no, I said I would stop spoiling it. I said I wouldn't spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm laying there and I have the gag in my mouth, and I'm like, and he comes over, he finally takes it out. I swear it was in my mouth for like an hour. So now my mouth is like sore and it hurts. But my vision starts returning, which is good because now I can at least see what he's doing. So once he realizes that I can see, he realizes the medicine, I guess, is starting to like wear off. So he's like perfect timing. He picks me up, he takes me into the garden, and OMG. So his backyard is a huge, like, it's freaking huge. There's like pathways, there's like a freaking fountain there. But there's like trees everywhere. It's like surrounding this place. And he has this table. He has this white table in the middle. It's almost similar to the one that's in the kitchen, except it has 4 chairs attached to it. There's like a post. When you walk out, there's like a railing post with like baskets of like flowers, like different colors and stuff. It basically looks like a beautiful like secret garden in his backyard. So he takes me way to like where the middle of the garden is. There's like trees surrounding us. Nobody can see us. And I'm like, where are you taking me? He goes, no talking. And I'm like, but I want to know where I'm going. He says, shut up. You're my bitch now. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then he sits me on top of this. So like the middle of the trees, and then like there's this little it's almost like a kind of like a podium or something, but it's too short to be a podium. I don't know what the heck this thing is, but it's square shaped. He sits me on the edge of it. So my dress is like my little gown dress thingy, whatever it was. It's similar to the one I wore with like the ribbon last time. He sits me there and he pulls my legs to the edge, and he goes, I'm gonna wreck you. And I'm like, I said, you mean like mess me up? Like, he goes, no, this is different this time. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, wait. He goes, I can't wait. I've been waiting. He said, you made me wait for 3 days. And I'm like, please, just, and he goes, before I was holding back. He said, I'm not going to hold back this time. He said, you won't even be able to walk when I'm done. And I'm like, I won't be able to walk. I'm like, but I have to work. I have to work tomorrow. He said, I don't care. So he starts, and guys, I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs. And I'm like, somebody will hear me. And he goes, nobody will hear you. I said, somebody will hear. Someone will hear. He goes, nobody will hear you because nobody's here. And I said, what do you mean no one's here? And he said, you said that. He told me. By the way, guy, while he's telling me this, he's like pounding me, okay? And he's like, you said you wanted to be the only 2 people in the world. So I created a reality where it can just be us. And I'm like, what? He said, I created a reality just for us. And I'm like, that's not, and I can barely like talk because like he's so rough. And like, guys, when I tell you like it went on all night, I don't know who's mature out there. I don't know if the matures. Kids, if you're watching this, you shouldn't be watching this. Don't watch this if you're a kid, okay? My content is way too mature for you. Um, Honestly, if you've ever, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, tried to do it all night with someone, um, it's really, it's really like tiring. It's really like nerve wracking. Oh my God, you can't. It gets to a point where it's too much, and it's like, and then so like, I told him, I'm like, I was like, please stop. And he's like, he goes, I won't stop even if you beg me. Like my own words coming back to bite me in the face, guys. My own words coming back to bite me in my face. I'm just like, oh my God. And then I tell him, I'm like, I have to go to, I have to pee. Like, I have to go to the bathroom. And he's like, I'm not stopping. And I'm like, I was like, I can't hold it. He goes, hold it. Don't. He goes, hold it. My plants still need to be watered today. And I'm like, and I can't hold it. And I'm like, I can't hold it. I can't hold it. And then, yeah, that goes. And he's like, cotton candy doll. He goes, that means you're gonna have to get another bath. And I'm like, no. So the whole night was basically me screaming and him trying to violate all my forbidden areas. And so I'm laying up in bed with him. It's like in the middle of the night. And he has my hand cuffed again to the bed. And he has his other arm around me. And he's like sleeping. And I can feel him like breathing. And I'm thinking, I gotta get out of here. I have to like escape. Luckily, I still have like a bobby pin in my hand, and I can use it. So I took the bobby pin out, and I used it to like unbuckle the handcuff. And so like I slid off of his bed because it was like easy just to slide off, but as soon as my feet touched the ground, I like collapsed. I like fell. And my guide was standing like, when I looked up, my guide was standing like at me. Like I was looking at his legs. And he like gathered me up and like shifted me out of there. I came back here. Sorry, I came back here and I had to bathe in my bath salts. And I'm just like, I came back here and I was so like shocked and so like bewildered that it happened the way it did. I didn't know Toshinori had so much power. I don't think he went 100% on me because he probably would have broke me, like he probably would have crushed my pelvis and I would have been in the hospital. I know he did just enough to like get the reaction he wanted from me. And he had this secret dark smirk on his face the entire time. Him trying to handcuff me and like keep me close to him, he's definitely yandere. Like I said, he hasn't, you know what I told you guys earlier. Just translate it. I'm not gonna say it on here. I feel like there might be kids watching. I'm hoping there's not, because my content is just too mature. I'm fine with the asking questions about my methods. I'm fine with watching videos like that. But if you're younger than, if you're like 10 or whatever, don't watch it. Anywhere older, those kids are old enough and mature enough to like, maybe not 10 or 12. How old was I when I didn't lose my, you know what, until I was like 24, guys. So I'm not like young, if you guys already know that. Okay, I'm an adult, so my content is gonna be more mature than some of the other people. I don't know how much you guys really like my content, but I really like giving you guys details. I don't want to give you details that's gonna get me kicked off or banned though either. And I definitely don't feel like kids should be watching this. Um, am I gonna go back to Toshinori's house tonight? Let's just put it this way. I am having trouble sitting here trying to sit still and talk to you guys. Like my legs and stuff, like I'm trying to like not. I really am trying to like relax, but I can't. I'm still wound up. Like I can still feel him. I can't say that I didn't 100% enjoyed it. I mean, it felt so good, but it hurt so bad at the same time. And he kept whispering like you're mine, and he kept making me say all that stuff that, you know, he kept making me say the stuff that like I wanted him to say. I knew he didn't forget, guys. I knew it. He was putting on this show the whole time so he can get me like to be relaxed and calm around him. I'm not gonna be dumb like that again though. I'm gonna keep my guard up. I always say that and I let my guard down like the moment he touches me. I just really can't help it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I told you guys this was gonna be like a long video, so I hope you were never expect to get like a short video from me again, because you probably won't get one. Thank you guys for watching my channel. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're notified of other videos. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below if there's anything you forgot to ask me in my live questions and answers video. Or if you just want to know some more information in general just about shifting, you can also leave that in the comments as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!